All right, YouTube. Back once again with the ill behavior. This is Chill with Bill. We're going to be looking at King Rich's Most Modern Women Lie Through Makeup. Let's go ahead and get right on into it.
The body is a honest signifier of genetic fitness. Implants, in brackets including hair, is for fooling potential mates of your actual fitness and biology. Imagine a man lying about income and provision abilities. How is that misogynistic?
No, but that's my point. What does that have to do with a woman's looks? Why is it the mic. Why is it the same thing? Why is my looks matching up to what a man earns? It's not the same thing.
Because on a base,
not even on a close level.
It actually is.
It's not.
It actually is, because when you think about the basic intrinsic transaction between men and women, yeah, we're not talking about love and all of that. We're talking about an intrinsic level, yeah. Like basically on a baseline level, women will bring beauty, youth, fertility to the man, and the man will bring protection and provision. We're not talking about love right now.
We're talking about protection. Love, that's irrelevant now.
So, the one thing you got to do, and I watched the whole podcast, but I didn't see a part where you really honed into this. And you got to remember, men and women are different. Okay, completely different. Like we might be equal in certain areas and the same when it comes to rights and all that. But I'm talking about fundamentally men and women are different. And the things that we are looking for in partners are different, right? So the woman is looking for provisioning. She's looking for protection. She's looking for the ability for a man to not only create, but provide, and then to protect that. So she can, if she chooses to be in her femininity, have kids, take care of those kids, take care of the home. And even if she wants to work, it doesn't really matter. The point is that she, more often than not, that's what she looks for in a mate when it comes to procreation, for going throughout life, for finding a partner. I'm not saying every woman's looking for a partner, but in general, women are looking for partners, and that's what they're looking for. Men are not looking for those things in a partner. When we want a woman, we're not looking at her for her ability to protect, to provision, to provide. That is not what we're looking for. We're looking for signs of fertility, health, beauty, right? Fit, feminine, friendly, right? Like men put those things high on the 1, 2, 3 of threes of things that we are looking for, right? In a mate. Women do not. We already talked about what women do, right? When you talk about the ability to provide, the man providing for the woman, when you're talking about the ability to provide in 2023, that means the ability to make money, period. Because if you don't have money, you can't provide anything. So when he's saying that's what the man is bringing, the ability to provide, that is the number 1, 2, or 3, whatever thing that a woman is looking for in a man. Okay, a man is not looking for that in a woman. A man, somewhere 1, 2, 3, somewhere on his scale, maybe 1, maybe 3, in between, he's looking for beauty. Beauty. That's the fit part. Beauty. We're not looking for money. We're looking for beauty. So if you start this thing off saying, what it is that men and women value highest, then it's easier to receive this argument that money is high on the list, and it's the same thing as beauty is for men, right?
No, because
what's irrelevant?
No, as in if we're not talking about love, that it doesn't matter, because if I go out on a night out, right, guy's going to look at me and say, oh, I like the way you look, we're going to do whatever, right? I'm not then going to look at him and say, oh, you know what, you might have money, you might be rich, I'm going to see what I can get out of you. No, I'll look at you.
That's actually exactly what you're going to do. You're not going to say it in those words. And again, you a lot of times when women try to make their points, they try to make the male's point sound like super dumb if you listen to the way she like changed her voice and moved her head. I mean that's not that doesn't help the conversation. Okay. But the point is yes, you are going to look at him. What you're going to do as soon as he steps to you, right? As soon as you're like, oh, that girl, she looks the way that I think is, I think she looked fun or whatever, right? Whatever he's thinking. And he steps to you. Okay. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to basically look him up and down. You're not looking to see how fine he is. I mean, that's on the list, right? Obviously nowadays in 2023, that is definitely on the list for most women. But it's not about like his curves. You know what I mean? It's not about how well, it's how well he's put together for sure. Right. But it's not so much about, does he have a strong jawline, that kind of thing. Yes, those are things. But what you really you're looking for is he wearing flip flops and socks? Or, does his outfit look squared away? Is his hair cut? Is his beard shaved? Is he wearing a little jewelry? What's the situation like that you might not be cognizant, but depending on what it is you're looking for, like you're going to look to see you're going to want to see the signs that show you that provisioning is something this man can do while he's opening his mouth and talking and doing all that, right? Like, because again, 1, 2, 3, these are whatever the 3 things are, but provisioning is going to be huge on the list. You're not like, ooh, does he have a Bugatti? Some of you women are, not every woman, obviously, but that's not what you're thinking necessarily. But is he looking busted? Does he look like a bum? Is he homeless? Like, yeah, for sure. These are things that are high on a woman's list of, things.
Think women never think that?
There are some women that think that maybe, but
but don't you think all women will want to be with a man that can protect and provide for them?
Yeah, of course. But what does that mean? Like,
What
protect
do you
and
mean?
provide in terms of what? Because
Protection and provision
Yeah.
is protection could be physicality and
Yeah.
financial, and provision is financial.
Okay.
I think she's being disingenuous. Provide what? Blah, blah, blah. Like, because she doesn't have an argument. And a lot of times when the logic isn't, when it's not computing up there, they'll use this kind of like, provide what? Like, no, you know what he's talking about. You know exactly what he's talking about. Like, he's not providing a shoulder to cry on only, right? Like, he's not a bum. You're not checking a bum.
But this is my issue. A lot of men, right? They use the fact that they have money to get a woman, right?
Okay.
But what if that woman doesn't care about how much money you have?
Then
If,
she can get pumped and dumped by Chad and Tyrone's. There you go.
if she didn't care about how much money you had, genuinely, if it didn't matter, which at some point it's going to matter. You can say it's not the first thing, but at some point it's going to matter. But she can say it doesn't matter how much money he has. But the thing is that if a man's broke all the time, like it shows. It shows in a lot of ways, on his face, on his clothes, the way he carries himself. You know what I mean? The people he surrounds himself with, like it shows, and you can see that. It doesn't take long. You're making decisions that quick. You can see it.
Because that's what's more than. Because think about this is the thing.
But money and looks they don't have anything to do. Like, they're not like connected. That's the thing.
They
not,
do.
No, but they're
you're not listening.
Though.
You're just talking and you're not listening.
No, but they're not connected.
Bro, like you can say they're not connected as many times as you want, but you're not listening or understanding. At the end of the day, in a baseline level, if we take love and all of this chemistry out of it, yeah, what does a woman offer a man, and what does a man offer a woman? Really, when you make it very, very basic. Yeah, let's take it back. Let's take it back to our grandparents' age and great grandparents and great grandparents and priests.
No,
like, bro, at the end of the time, then if you understand what I'm saying, why are you arguing?
No,
then?
I'm not arguing. I'm just
What are you
saying.
saying?
No,
She is arguing because one, she's not trying to listen to understand, but two, you also you got to lay the fundamentals down, right? If you agree and you get her to verbally agree on the fundamentals that men and women are different and that we seek out different things depending on in our mate, if you get her to agree to that first, then this argument. She wouldn't have an argument right now. There would be no, she couldn't sit there and say, what are you talking about? Money and looks are different. We already established that we're looking for different things. We're talking about the level of priority it is for that other person.
I'm saying, I feel like a lot of men do this. They bring looks and money into it, but they're not the same thing. Like, I get what you're
I never
saying.
said they're the same thing, though.
No, I didn't say that you said that. But what I'm saying is that guy has done the typical thing that a lot of men do. And I'm not saying that's you or anyone else, but a lot of men do this where they kind of correlate looks to money. It's like, well, you can provide me looks and I can provide money.
No.
That's what's supposed to happen. Look, a lot of y'all don't even realize, historically, right, women looked better than men. That is just how it was. You know what I mean? Like, men did not, there were some guys, but like on average, men weren't the fair sex, right? Women were. So now for whatever reason, women, because all these things, there's a few different reasons, but women put looks at this higher level than they have historically. So for some reason, she thinks that her looks and his looks should be have the equal value when it comes to assessing each other sexually, right? And that is not the case. It's not, because men prioritize looks. Women, you can prioritize looks if you want to, but really provisioning, those are kind of in your biology. The looks things just recently came. You know what I mean? Like the provisioning, the providing, all that stuff is historically, right? And so you're still biologically wired to want those things in a man. And to sit there and talk down on a guy presenting his financial resources and his creation capability first, it's like a resume. And you guys ask for this stuff. I mean, you're like, if you live at home, if you don't have your own car, if you don't do then don't check for me. Like you know what I mean? Like you say this. So a man is like, it's like he's applying for a job. Same thing as a woman. And when you're applying for a job, the first thing you do, at the top of your resume, like you have your baseline information, and then you have your accolades and your accomplishments specifically that are focused towards the job that you're applying for. So that way, the person that you're applying to, the first thing they see is how your history, how your responsibilities, and how your accomplishments line up with what it is that they want you to be able to do. I mean, this is simple. Everybody's gotten a job before, right? And if you don't want to, if you think I'm talking down on it because I'm using this as an occupation as a example, like, get out of your feelings, because that's what this is. He's putting his accolades at the top, saying, this is what you're asking for. You need me to be able to lift a minimum of 50 pounds and walk backwards for 10 feet and speak English and blah, blah, blah. Well, I can lift 100 pounds and I speak English and Spanish and da-da-da. Like, he's putting his accolades at the top because that's what you're requesting. And so a man who's leading with his money, he shouldn't lead with his money. I'm not saying that he should, but he's not going to hide it. He's a man with money, especially when it comes to, the dating market or whatever, like, there are some guys where it doesn't show at all, but for most guys, it's going to show, because it's going to take you to better places. You're going to go there in a better situation. You're going to be surrounded by better, people of higher class, usually, like that kind of thing. It shows.
No, but he said the body is an honest signifier of genetic fitness. What has that got to do with what you're talking about?
But that's not the point that I'm talking about, though, is it? I'm talking about.
We're talking about what he wrote in the super chat. You said
in the rest of it, because he said it's an indicator of like general like
genetic fitness. Yeah. And he's saying that the fakeness, the plasticness, is for fooling potential mates of your actual fitness and biology. Isn't that not correct?
No. he's not wrong, but what I'm saying is because you're going to have that conversation though. If we're taking love out of it, no one cares about that. But like, if you're with someone, you're going to find out about their plastic surgery. You're going to find out about what enhancements they've had.
Because
No?
they chat. And the thing is, your body is definitely, you see that my body's different from her body, and we have different.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, I always connect it. But I will let them finish. Let them finish.
Right, that's not what we're talking about. All right,
Okay.
so basically, the super chat is basically, do you agree? Because you seem to have something. When I read that, you seem to say it was misogynistic, which is absolutely not misogynistic. Then you said, "Oh yeah, because you're equating looks to money." It's not.
But guys, no, but that's my point. That's like what I've taken from that is that guys always bring the money aspect into it.
Because
right?
money is a value.
Yeah, of course it is.
So and looks is a value.
Can I add?
But no, hold on.
go on.
But money is a value and looks is a value, correct?
But they're not the same type of value though.
Again, she can't get it past her mind that while these things may be different, they carry the same weight to the opposite gender, right? Like if you're a man, looks matter to you. If you're a woman, money matters to you. I'm not saying all women, I'm not saying all men. Okay, let's get out of our feelings, right? But like for the most part, looks matter to men, money matters to women. And so that's why women present themselves when they go out into the world, especially if they're looking for a man, they present themselves in the best fashion that they can. They use the makeup, they got the heels, the dresses, the lashes, the hair, you know what I mean? They're doing everything that they can to make themselves present a certain way, right? Because they know that this is high on the list of things that men are looking for, whether she wants to be outward with it or not. Men, not all men, and you shouldn't. Again, I'm not saying this is the way to do it. You should never lead with your money, right? But men with money, it shows. Okay, a lot of men will lead with it, yes. Okay, because they're using what they know their number one asset. Just like a woman going out in makeup and heels, and they're using their number one asset to be able to attract the other sex. It's the same thing. It's just we value different things, right? And you want to say it's the same, that apples and apples are the same and apples and oranges are not. It's like, no, actually apples and oranges are similar because they are high on the list of fruits, right? They're within the top 3.
They are a value, correct?
But they are not the same type
Oh
of
my
value.
days! Oh my days! Like
No, but that's
you're just deliberately not understanding.
I am
at this point.
understanding.
Because
I am
if I bring an apple and you bring an orange, yeah, they're not the
Oh.
exact same fruit, but they both have value. I don't understand. What are you trying to argue?
Well, can I?
They have value,
Can
and
I-
you exchange those values.
And then the next sentence would be, and depending on if you are this type of person or this type of person, you might value apples higher than you would value oranges, and vice versa. I.e., if you're a man, you might value apples higher, right? Looks. Or if you're a woman, you might value oranges higher, i.e., money. I think she's just arguing to argue.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Can I just say that a lot of men, we've seen it, they all misrepresent themselves. That's why you have drug dealers, broke guys who have 10 kids and can't look after them. And
Most of these guys aren't misrepresenting themselves. You're just choosing to ignore the red flags. Like, it's not like you can hide the fact that he's a drug dealer, right? I mean, maybe international spy or something like that. If he's a baby daddy to 10 different kids, you telling me you didn't see this? Like, if you slept with him on the first day, okay, maybe he got one past you. Whew, that's because you didn't allow enough time, dummy.
and these kind of things, because they'll stunt with their jewelry and their nice rental, and this is what they do, right?
small percentage of guys, small, very, 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 very small percentage of guys are renting cars, okay, and taking you to Airbnbs, right, and saying all that stuff is theirs. Like most guys don't even have the capability of doing that, nor do they want to play that facade. You know what I mean? You're talking about a very small subset of guys, and you're basically trying to generalize using the 1%.
Right. So yes, I agree
Also, the 1% that you guys pursue. I'm just saying.
with the comment where it says women use, I don't know, add-ons to make themselves look more desirable.
Most women, just to be clear, like again, I just explained, a very small percent of guys flex money and clout that they don't actually have. But most women use makeup and add-ons. Most. A large subset, not 1%. If it were 1%, makeup wouldn't be like a, what, $1 trillion industry?
But that's their job, is to basically procreate. Yes, their job is to attract a suitable, on a baseline level. So don't send for me. On a baseline level is to attract a suitable mate, so procreation can happen and more, more children are born. So yeah, I agree with the comment, but I understand your position. They're not, the values are different, but in the baseline of it, these are the two values that men use to basically bring in women. Because
Yeah.
remember, if a man sits there and says, "Oh, I've got a nice watch, looks like put together," you're more likely to look at him than a guy that's not put together, right? And then on the other side, women will put themselves together with makeup, add-ons, surgery to attract a certain type of man, right? That what we were saying earlier. So
Yeah.
I do understand, and they are different values, but they add together, it makes sense.
There's an
Yeah.
exchange. There's a
Yeah.
transaction.
The way you guys are explaining it, you're making it so difficult, right? But I get it. Yeah, they're different, but they're the same. Like again, the point is that men value different things in women than women value in men. We hold things higher. So whatever our top 3 is and whatever women's top 3 is, those things, yeah, while they are equal to each other, they may not be the same thing. They're equal in weight. They're equal in how much we weigh them, right? But they're not the exact same thing.
It's like saying, you went to the shop and you bought a Big Mac. The Big Mac has value. Your money has value. They're not the exact same value, but they both have value. And there's and there's a transaction. It's the same thing as the looks and the provision of a man. The woman's looks and the provision of a man. Yes, it's not exactly the same, but there is a transaction, an exchange of value.
But I will say this, it has to be agreed upon by both parties for it to make sense. So if we want to be so
Obviously.
yeah, you want to say obviously, but we know when we're
Well, yeah, obviously, right? They're agreed upon, meaning the man sees the woman and says, she's attractive enough. Here's her value as far as attractiveness and how I see her. And then the woman looks at the man and says, okay, this is how much bread he makes, right? It happens to be value. We're going to go, we fox with each other, right? Y'all know anything about that?
we're talking about these kind of things, we know that they have dimensions. So we're talking about it on such a primitive level that in conversation, I get the point, but in real life, it's not adding up.
What's not adding up in real life?
So the comment in itself, this is gonna be long. So in itself, talking about men pretending what they can and can't do, provision. Yeah, men will pretend for 5 weeks that they can provide.
But that's only certain types of men, though.
Yeah. So you agree? It's only certain types of men, but that's what I'm saying. It's primitive to say
But
that.
most women wear makeup, though.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? That's not even a fair comparison.
Pretty sure
Most
it's
women,
like that.
it's not fair. No, it's not though. It's not a fair comparison.
Can you
It's
not see what's
Hold on.
underneath?
Hold on. You can't just jump in when I'm talking.
Okay.
So most women wear makeup, right? Correct. We all know that's true. Yeah.
Yes.
And they get their hair done, wear hair extensions, weave, wigs, whatever, right? And then the other side of it is the men that are faking it, faking that they're living some lifestyle of money and stuff like that. Yeah. Do you think that's the majority of men that are really going out of their way to fake it with their money?
Listen, everybody does it. Everybody does it. I don't care who you are. If you've got 10 million in the bank, you've got 10 million in the bank. Yeah. If you've got £10 in the bank.
Do you think that's the majority of guys that are pretending they got 10 million in the bank?
No. I'm just showing a contrast here because nothing is black and white. There's colours of grey in between. What I am saying is, no matter the man's pocket, he will enhance what he needs to enhance to attract the woman that he wants. Yeah.
And then the woman,
the woman he's trying to attract will add in hair, will put on makeup to attract the type of woman, the type of man that she wants.
But let me ask you this, yeah. In this exchange of fake makeup and all this kind of fake stuff, and then the guy faking it, who's more than likely going to have something that's actually substantial there? Who's more than likely in this exchange of, we're talking about the woman with fake looks and the man having money or not having as much money as he's portraying? Who's more than likely going to have actually something there substantial?
The woman.
I wasn't asking you.
It just depends. If the guy's in it for sex, then he's cool. He's fine. He's got the sex. He might not have the looks.
But what about outside of sex? Maybe
if he wanted dimension and character, then he decides that when he's dating that woman or seeing that woman, he can say, "Yo, she looks nice, but it's not for me." There's avenues.
That's not what I asked you.
Yeah.
I asked you.
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to do the mental gymnastics over here on that question, and I think I've got it, but let's let him do the second one.
Who out of that two? Yeah. This is what women always do. I'm asking a simple question.
Sorry, Rich is that king. I think that was a little weird worded, but go ahead.
It's a simple question.
I didn't answer it then.
It's a simple question that has dimension. That's the fact of it.
No, man.
It is.
No,
I think what he's meaning to say is, you got a woman putting on makeup, right, and with hair extensions, this and that, and then a man representing what he's got financially, whatever, right? I think he's wondering who's more likely to actually be closer to what they're representing than not. And I would say on average it's probably men, because most men aren't going out saying I have millions in the bank and really only have thousands or hundreds. If you're a dude who works his ass off 5 days a week, 6 days a week, like, that shows. You can't really hide that. You're working wherever you're working and you're making what you're making. It's very difficult for you to flex anything more than that for any kind of time. Maybe for an evening. Maybe you could go blow half your paycheck at the casino and it looks like you got bread. But again, whose fault is that for not at least, giving it a little bit of time to see what it really looks like? One day, one evening, that's dumb. Don't just pick up people popping bottles at the club. Stupid.
I'm going to answer it myself. I'm going to answer my own question because at the end of the day, you're just saying anything. At the end of the day, if the woman is full of fake plastic stuff, it is all fake. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Yeah. If a man, even if the man is faking it, he would still need to have some level of money to fake it, bruv. So
exactly, like you can't fake that you have millions without having something, right? I mean, again, maybe you could, I don't know, maybe your homeboy's got millions and you borrow his Phantom for a day. You know what I mean? Like, but most people who are broke don't have access to people with Phantoms, right? Like, it's just that, and then you're not faking that interaction for more than a couple hours. Like, you gotta,
So therefore, in that transaction, he must have at least some level. It may not be what he's showing, but he must have something there that would be able to he would be able to use as some kind of provision. Something there. He's not going to be pretending he's a millionaire and he has zero in the bank. But guys, that's unrealistic.
Yeah, but guys do that all the time, though.
Yeah.
Guys usually have something, or maybe they're bankrupt. You got them rappers who went like this super quick, right? And so maybe you catching them on the downstroke. That's possible. But again, if you give it enough time, you're gonna know he's faking. You're gonna see him in the pawn shop, like, you know what I mean? Like you it's not gonna last that long.
And that's some guys. And if you're an
Yeah.
unfortunate woman to fall in that trap, that's you.
Yeah.
But the average guy out there has some money out there. He has some. I'm not saying he's rich, but he's gonna have something. The average man is not homeless.
I think he might have money, or he might have like a nice car to show for it, but then the house isn't adding up to like the car sort of thing.
No,
It
I
is
feel
a-
I'm
it-
agreeing
it's a-
with you that
I
guys
don't
fake
think
it.
it has to be just.
That happens with a lot of dudes. You know, you can go to a lot of apartment complexes and see scat packs outside, right? Like, you know, but again, if you're just like, oh, nice car, let me just, you know, sleep with you or whatever, like, that's on you. You know what I mean? Maybe you spend a couple days to get to know him or something, or figure out a way to move with him, you know?
Just money.
It's about being able to
That makes sense.
maintain. It's about being able to maintain. A man who can maintain has more merit than a man who can stunt.
But we're talking about
Definitely,
in comparison to the woman and the man. Now you're making
Yeah, they're moving the goalpost and all this because they're not trying to admit the fact that there are some women, not all women are like this, but there are some women whose transformation from A to B is like, it looks like, you know, something out of a Disney or Marvel movie. Like, it's very, very, very much a sci-fi reincarnation of an alien transformation or something. It's very weird. Not all women are like that. He's saying every woman wears makeup or lashes or hair or whatever, and it's true. More and more and more are. It's becoming more difficult to find women who don't wear any of that stuff and who are just natural. But you got to take care of yourself in order to look good natural. I'm just saying.
making about men versus men. We're talking about in terms of the woman and what she's bringing to the table
Yeah.
and what the man's bringing to the table. More often than not, the man is gonna have something, even if it's something small, he'll have something. That looks and that the eyelashes and all that, that's all fake.
Yeah,
That's
you can take-
nothing.
it
It's not
is.
real.
I
And
agree.
even if you have a kid with that woman, all that illusion is not going to be translated to the child. What she really is what's translated to the child. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
so
understanding
so
you.
this is what I'm
Yeah. How'd Kevin Samuel say? Fresh out the shower, no makeup. Fresh in the morning or whatever. Rate yourself. Can't use 7.
saying. In this transaction, who has something that is actually substantial? It's the man. The man's more than likely going to have something. I'm not saying he's going to have a lot, but I'm saying he's going to have more than that.
Yeah, what he's saying is you can have a woman and she can do all of this to put herself together and attract a man who's making 6 figures. And then they go to bed or whatever they do. In the morning when they wake up, that man is making 6 figures. But she may have to go through 3 hours of a transformation in order to get back to what she was that attracted him in the first place, right? So how much of that is plastic? How much of it is substantial?
That woman who's just faking it completely. That's all I'm saying.
I understand.
Yeah, that's the end of that one, you guys. So anyways, chill with Bill. You know, most modern women lie through makeup on the King Rich's show. Tell me what you think about it. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult because women love makeup and most men love women that wear makeup. But some of y'all got that wizardry, boy. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.